Hey folks, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community on the planet. Today is Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend. It is September 16th. And in this video, we're going to be doing a rapid fire news update for the period from September 9th to the 15th. And if you're not familiar with these new format videos, essentially I go over a high-level overview of the most important articles that transpired over the last week. And again, it's not to go into deep dive details. It's just to kind of bring everything up that somebody may have missed, and then we'll discuss it in the comment section below. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future live streams or whenever I post a new video. So as I had said, this will be from September 9th to September 15th. And let me know in the comments below what you think of this new format. And also, I basically take all of this news from the Pow Group private community. So here's the Pow Group private community. We've got different channels for MJ, commodities, crypto. 80% of the content on this channel's MJ. We are first and foremost an MJ community. And then secondly, crypto and blockchain and a lot more. We have real estate. I'm in the process of buying another couple condos. It's going to be my fourth condo in less than 2 years. I have an Airbnb property, going to be renting some out, and I live in one. So we have different markets for different topics for conversation. Then we have the automatic news fetching. We also have POW algo alerts, which is buy it and sell signals early directly to your email and in Slack. And then we have different channels for news as well. And I have over 50 publishers. So news just continues to pull automatically. I don't even have to check any websites really. And it does that automatically. We do that for MJ, commodities, crypto. We do it for Forex, everything, general news, real estate news. We got a community tab there as well. But essentially all of the MJ news I'm taking out of here, and I'm just going through and sorting which is the most important. And then I do these videos based on that. But essentially, if you're part of the Pow Group private community, you can sign up for a monthly membership or an annual membership or the VIP. You can check out powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com to learn more. But essentially, you'd have all that news in real time. But if you like these formats as well, you can just view it on YouTube. And then, like I say, I do these every weekend to just kind of go over what happened in the last week or so. Make sure to give Pow Group a follow on X. That's @GroupPow. The handle for that is @GroupPow, formerly Twitter on X. Also, powmerch.ca has launched, so you can check out Pow Group merchandise. There's tons of merch on there. You can be a part of the revolution and this journey, and getting a ton of great feedback and support. Over 20 orders. I really do appreciate from the bottom of my heart. I love each and every one of you who supported me along the way. Definitely wasn't easy. So as a thank you, there's 10% off until the end of the month. Use coupon code POWG420. So we'll dive right into it. Canopy Growth reminds shareholders to cast their vote for upcoming annual general and special meeting of shareholders to be held on September 25th, 2023 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So that won't be this Monday, but the following Monday. And one of the votes on that is the share consolidation. So the reverse split. Again, they're encouraging everybody to vote for. Just because they vote for doesn't mean it's actually going to occur. They have until January 11th to regain compliance. And then they're already closing above $1 for a couple of days, right? So again, it could happen. It might not. But they have until January 11th. And they could even get an extension. So at this point, I would say it's a 50-50% chance that it gets passed or it doesn't. No one has a crystal ball, and there's not really anything we can do. They're encouraging to vote for. So I'm a shareholder of Canopy as well. I'd rather them just organically get above $1. I think that's very possible now, especially with safe banking. There's some news with regards to that a little bit later on in this video, and then rescheduling the Schedule 3. So we should easily be able to get there organically, in my opinion. I think it was more like 50-50. Now it's a 60% chance that we could get there organically and not have to do a reverse split, and 40% chance that we do. New Jersey is poised to finally legalize most MJ edibles. Love to see it. Pennsylvania navigates legal distinction between MJ-infused gummies and chewables as well. So moreover on that front, with regards to the 2.0 version of MJ, Connecticut saw a record 25 million worth of MJ sold in August, state officials report. Leafly becomes latest from MJ Industry to consolidate shares. So the share consolidation effective Tuesday combined 20 Leafly shares into one. So again, not just Canopy, pretty much every name that's listed, that's a Canadian name listed on the NASDAQ or the NYSE. The US names don't have to deal with it because they're not listed on US major exchanges, right? So they don't have that minimum bid price rule. But it's not just Canopy, right? So again, it's not the end of the world. MJ isn't going to go away. And just because a company does a reverse split doesn't mean that it's going to go away forever, right? Can be a little bit bearish, but it's just a financial trick, right? They create regular stock splits so that when Amazon or something like that's $2,000, the regular people just can't buy in, right? Regular Joe blows, and they make it $200 and then they use them as liquidity. They do it at the top and then stock raiders. Same thing with reverse split. It's just a way for them to stay on the NASDAQ and the NYSE and to do this accounting wizardry, right? This financial wizardry. Doesn't change the market cap, just increases the number of shares, decreases the price, increases price, decreases shares, or decreases price, increases shares, right? It's just a way for them to manipulate the market. 14 GOP congressional lawmakers tell DEA to keep MJ in Schedule 1 and reject top health agency's recommendation. So I said this like clockwork. I remember saying in the video on August 30th when they came out with this recommendation, I said, watch, they're going to come out in like a week or two, and there's going to be a bunch of opposition saying don't do this, and then stocks are going to go up like crazy, and then they're going to go down. They'll get whipsaw, right? They use this as this is manipulation at its finest, and that's exactly what happened. But we know that this is probably just FUD, and it's more than likely going to happen. High Tide to open second Canna Cabana location in Brampton, Ontario. Just did a video on their earnings, which we'll cover more over here in just a moment. It's official. New York will open adult use MJ retail to multi-state operators. This is huge. New York regulators voted on Tuesday to allow the state's medical MJ operators to apply for adult use retail licenses. This is huge news. New York's going to be a massive market, but I think Florida potentially having the ballot for adult use in 2024. I think Florida is going to be the biggest state in the U.S., bar none. Also, Canadian medical MJ registrations at the lowest level since legalization. And we know that the MJ Act review is up for a consultation period and review here this leading into this fall here in Canada. So we could see some improvements and some news out regarding that, which would add more fuel to this coals to the fire, so to speak. And safe banking vote coming up for September 27th. We'll cover that. And then, legalization of potential medical, and then rescheduling to Schedule 3 or even descheduling could happen. And then we should see some updates with regards to MJ legalization in Canada, whether it be taxation, packaging, labeling, distribution, all that good stuff. So lots of catalysts to be looking out for. Germany coming online, Florida on the ballot. It's looking good. Also, Charlotte's Web announces appointment of Bill Moravnik as CEO. So there's some changes going on at the high level there at Charlotte's Web. Also, California lawmakers send MJ Cafe bill to governor for signature. This is awesome. Nevada really making strides like this as well. And then in Colorado, there's like a MJ party bus. But these are definitely all on my bucket list to try. I can't wait to experience some of those cafes. Never been to one. Also, Michigan MJ sales stall in August. So Michigan MJ sales were unchanged in August from July, down just slightly from the record of 276.7 million to 276.3 million. The growth of 32.9% from a year ago was up from the 31.8% level last month. Also, Tilray had some news. September 14th, Montauk Brewing expands distribution beyond the Northeast. So for the Montauk brand, they announced the beginning of the highly anticipated expansion beyond the Northeast that will begin in Georgia and continue to other major markets in the U.S. later on this year. Also, RFK Jr. reaffirms that legalizing MJ and using revenue to fund treatment centers would be part of my presidency. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this guy. He seems like a straight shooter, and he's an advocate for crypto as well. And like I said, home to best MJ community on the planet, and home to MJ crypto and blockchain and interviews. This is a big part of why I would vote for him. I'm Canadian, so I can't vote, and not to get political, I'm not telling you what to vote for or whatnot, but if it were me, I'd be definitely voting for him by the looks of it. High Tide launches Cabanalytics. Say that 5 times. Cabanalytics. Consumer insights to 1.1 million Cabana Club members. So again, I just did a video on High Tide as well on their earnings. They did beat in terms of earnings estimates. Trulieve opening medical MJ dispensary in Pace, Florida. Again, Florida going to be the biggest market in the U.S. in terms of state level, in my opinion. Congressional researchers say DEA is likely to reschedule MJ with broad implications for taxes, housing, immigration, and more. So again, we get the news that they're recommending Schedule 3, then 14 GOPs are opposing it, recommend staying on Schedule 1. Then we're getting congressional researchers say they're likely to do it, right? It's just the way that they play on emotions, right? And ebbs and flows. And I think it's going to go through at least Schedule 3, maybe even better, maybe even descheduling. Also, Canopy Growth lands creditor protection for BioSteel business and intends to sell the brand. So this is interesting. A lot of people were throwing around the B word. They were going to go bankrupt. There was a price target of $0. And I just didn't think that made any sense, right? And then it went from like 34 cents all the way up to like $2, right, USD. And I said myself that I didn't think that was realistic because they had so many brands, they had so many facilities, they had so many, just like Stores and Bickle and BioSteel. Like it would be naive to think that you just wouldn't have done any due diligence or research if you thought they were just going to, go bankrupt in like a month or two. It just wouldn't have made any logical sense. And here they are trying to stay afloat and get rid of those businesses that are really not adding to the profitability and the growth. And that's kind of hindering them right now. So they're getting rid of that. And this could happen with Storz and Bickle. There's a ton of other brands as well, right? So again, you can't just, get emotional and throw around the B word. I encourage you to use common sense and logic, right? Also, Normal reported that athletes report using MJ products to promote exercise recovery. That's interesting. And we know like the NFL, tons of, NBA, tons of sports organizations and leagues are starting to embrace this with, full on and really appreciate it for what it is. It's medicine of the future, right? Also, pilot study, vaporized MJ associated with reduced symptoms in patients with post-traumatic stress. So again, medicine of the future. Love to see it. Also, Wisconsin governor is still dedicated to MJ legalization. Wisconsin Gov Tony Evers is still committed to legalizing MJ, even though his latest attempt was shot down earlier this year by state Republican legislators. Also, Republicans soften on medical MJ reform in a shift that could make it a reality. I did a whole video on this as well. They mentioned that it could be the week of the 25th. And then shortly after, we had MJ Moment report key Senate committee officially schedules MJ banking vote. So here you go. Senate Banking Committee formally released a schedule on Friday showing members will hold a markup for the Secure and Fair and Enforcement Safe Banking Act on Wednesday, September 27th, a critical step on the measure's path to the floor. So the time of the meeting on the 27th is still listed as to be determined. So we should get some information out, but all eyes will be on that on the 27th. And then we should find out in the next couple of months what the DEA recommends if they sign off on HHS recommendation for Schedule 3. Also, SNDL's Wine and Beyond expands reach with e-commerce launch. And last but not least, NFL legend Jim McMahon launches MJ brand Revenant in Illinois. So again, more and more celebrities, more and more companies and countries, Apple and Amazon backing the reform here this time around. And we know that Uber's partnering with Leafly for MJ delivery in British Columbia. Big tech starting to get in, right? NFL players, big celebrities. We're starting to see more and more capitulate, more and more game theory playing out. Once one follows, they all follow suit. It's just a domino effect playing out. And eventually, this market is going to get so big, so accepted. We'll have no more stigma. It'll be medicine. It'll be the medicine of the future. I am so happy to be alive and experiencing it with you all. Just very, very grateful. But going down it there, let me know what you think of this news. We'll continue the conversation in the comment section below. Let me know as well what you think of this new format. But going to end it there, make sure to check out powmerch.ca for that 10% off until the end of the month. And going to end it there, we're going to do another product review video here shortly, so you can subscribe and take the bell to be notified whenever I post that video. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you again on the next one.